Lovebugs, it's me, Loverrlee. Today I have a very Christmassy episode for you of Let's Build. A very Christmassy Let's Build. This took me like forever, but I'm very happy the way it turned out. I didn't get everything that I wanted it to, I didn't do everything I wanted to do with this build, so I might make another one next year that's sort of similar, but anyway, I am really happy about this. So basically, I wanted to make a giant retail store, you know, like the famous ones like Macy's, Sears. I named it Santa Sack Avenue, like Saks Fifth Avenue. Like I wanted it to be like more of this high-end, you know, retailer. And but I definitely wanted to include this gigantic 4-story tall tree in the middle of it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm building this at the very top of tippity top of a skyscraper as well in San Myshuno. If you don't have city living, I bet you could place it, you know, elsewhere. But then again, I don't know what items I use. I mean, I use a lot of items from a lot of packs, so, you know, there's always that, but I don't think you necessarily have to place it up here, but I really wanted that, like, grand, you know, New York or San Francisco, like, giant kind of, yeah, I guess it's more New York, just like that grand idea of a giant fancy department store that you would go to in order to do all your holiday Christmas shopping. So yeah, that's why there's that gigantic tree in the middle. I did want to put a piano somewhere. I didn't end up doing that. I mean, if you really want a piano, I would put it on the second story, just because the second story actually has like this, it's like, it's where all the mannequins are. So there's not a lot going on aside from some registers and a bunch of mannequins. And you'll see obviously when I get to that, and also in the screenshots, I was really happy with the way this turned out, in the screenshots as well. Like, okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, right now I'm just doing the bathrooms. So there's like 2 stories of bathrooms. I don't have bathrooms on every floor. Like I ideally would have wanted to, but it just didn't work out because I really wanted glass like all the way around, at least the first 2 levels. So instead of having bathrooms on the first 2 levels, I get glass like all the way around. But yeah, here also you guys will be seeing I am placing like all these items. I pretty much was able to show you guys like everything. The only thing I did cut out was making everything actually buyable. So like I did take a sim in here and like made sure all these retail items are set for sale before, and that is the version I uploaded. However, I don't even know if that like mattered, but it like took me a good hour to just literally go through all the items that I wanted to set for sale and set them for sale. So yeah, if they aren't actually for sale, I'm sorry. There's nothing else I could do about that, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to dedicate a good hour to setting everything on sale. But yeah, hopefully it does show as things are on sale, if that makes any sense. But yeah, anyway, the first level here is retail. Well, it's all retail, but I mean, it's all like clothing. So as you saw, like I was putting down a bunch of different like shirts, and then I also end up putting down like a bunch of shoes. But I'm also making these quote unquote little dressing rooms. They're not functional. I just wanted to have the idea that your Sims could go in and actually use a dressing room. Again, obviously they're not really functional, so that's why the second story is where I said all the mannequins are. And I made sure to give enough space around the mannequins so that, you know, there shouldn't be any issues with like having your Sims actually trying on those clothes and things like that. But as you know, or hopefully you know, there is a limit to the number of mannequins you can put on a lot. Unfortunately, there's only 10 mannequins per lot. So that is why they are kind of sparse compared that section, that level of this retail store is actually more sparse than anything else, I would say. But yeah, here I am just placing a bajillion different shoes. So unfortunately, there's not really a lot of different kinds of shoes or anything really, like any clothing. Like there's not even really clothing racks, but with what I had, I feel like I did a good job, like filling up 2 floors, like 2 large floor spaces worth of items. So I tried to, you know, use as many recolors as possible and just make it give the illusion that there's a lot of variety, even though obviously I'm using like just 3, there literally are just 3 recolors of 2 different kinds of shoe racks, like, you know, 3 each. So there's like 6 recolor shoes in total here. So yeah, again, not as much variety as I would like to see, because I love having retail stores. I really do enjoy making these, even though it's one of those things that it's like really difficult in the moment to, like, you know, power through doing it. But at the same time, you can't really argue with like the results. It looks great. Like I was so proud of, you know, I don't know if you guys saw it, but in the last little let's build, like let's decorate, I called it, because I didn't actually build that one. It's the Stardew Valley Let's Build. Yeah, from Dr. Gluon's Stardew Valley Let's Build. I decorated it, and I was really, really proud of the way that like retail space turned out. So that's why I wanted to like even go see how even bigger I could go. Let's do like a mall, or maybe not a mall, but like a giant department store. So yeah, I feel like I did a pretty good job considering the space. Like the space is a lot of space. To try to fill it out is difficult, because you know there's only so many items in the game, even with all the expansion packs, even with all the stuff packs. It was interesting. It was a fun challenge. So I always say this, but I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Here I am deciding, like there's this big round counter space here on this 3rd floor, so I decided I wanted to make this into like a little gift wrapping station place, because you know how a lot of department stores will have that as well, especially for the holidays. They will give you the option to just pay somebody else to wrap your presents for you. So I felt like that was a good use of that space as well. Again, even though it's not really functional in game, it's just sort of the fun idea of like seeing a little station for wrapping presents. And then this is obviously going to be like our appliances section. I was again really happy with this. I love all the colors. They're so fun. And yeah, and again, I set that for sale, so you can bring your Sims here and have them go to the 3rd floor, you know, appliances section and buy their new fridge or buy their new, you know, microwave and small appliances and things like that. So their new stove, all that is available here. So, and then this is what I'm really, really proud of. This is where you can actually go take a picture with Santa. Again, lots of like department stores that I know of have this, or like especially like in a mall, you know, you could go bring your kid to sit on Santa's lap and take a photograph with Santa. So I was really happy to include this little idea. And it turns out really well. Again, I end up bringing a sim in, so I changed the background to like a nice brick so it really fits. But yeah, this is the 4th and final floor. Say that 5 times fast. 4th and final floor. And it is going to be the toy section. And I'm so excited about this. This is my favorite floor. This is really, let's be honest, this is really why I wanted to make the entire department store. This is where I spend the most of the time. I do go back and try to fill out the book section section. Again, those are all going to be purchasable, all those books that I put out right now and the CDs. So it's like the electronics CD books section, like the media section is also shared with the floor of the appliances, which I feel like is really, you know, I feel like I did a pretty good job of organizing it to be really, to really remind you of a true, you know, department store. But yeah, now I am so excited about the toy section. So this is where I had to dedicate a big chunk of the time to the Void Critters. I wanted to make sure that you could come here with your little kid sim, and if they were in love with Void Critters, they could buy any of the Void Critter cards that they wanted. Not only any of the Void Critter cards, but they could also buy the posters of their favorite Void Critter. They could buy the plushies. And then they could buy those little booster packs. Unfortunately, those are the only things that actually do not set for sale, strangely enough, are those booster packs. So, but I figured I'm still gonna leave them there just because, honestly, when I worked retail, those kind of things were always the first to kind of get, you know, shoplifted, unfortunately. They were like, any of those, oh, I don't know, like those blind bag kind of things, people would always tear into them and take them, which is really bad. You guys shouldn't shoplift, but you know, it is what happens, unfortunately. So I felt like it was realistic enough to just like keep them there, even though those were the only things that did not set for sale. And I was really happy that all of this other stuff that was in Buy Debug does set for sale. So all these little collectible eggs I'm putting out, as well as all the collectible snow globes. And then I put out all the little collectible sugar skulls too. I do those a lot later. I get really like tired. Basically, I'm like spending a long time trying to figure out, you know, how to organize the store. There's just a lot here, so I was really happy. I was gonna put out maybe those journals. Those are one of the few things that actually don't make it into this at all. So unfortunately, if you're looking for a journal, you cannot buy it here, but you can buy these awesome little future cubes. Super awesome future cubes. And also there's fun crackers. So if you guys don't know what those little things are, those are from the holiday pack as well, and those actually probably end up having like a Void Critter plush in them, as far as I know. Those are usually the kind of prize that ends up going in the cracker. But if you're, it's like one of those, again, it's sort of like a blind bag, a blind bag kind of thing. So if you're cool with like maybe spending less, your sim can get one of those instead, and then they can just kind of take a little gamble on what they end up getting. But yeah, I'm putting all of the, I try to make sure to put down at least one of each kind of toy, like toy box. Well, that's later, but dollhouse is what I'm trying to think of. So yeah, I try to put down at least one kind of dollhouse there. So I have 5 different dollhouse types. And then putting down all these big plushes all the way around the tippity top of the tree here that you can see on this level. And here I am putting all of the different toy boxes out. I love all these fun toy boxes, especially the ones that came with the toddler stuff there. Got 6 of those kind, and then just, yeah, big variety. I do end up raising those. So again, I try to avoid raising a lot of things, especially, I definitely didn't want to do another Stardew Valley furnishing fiasco where it's just like constantly having to raise everything. So for the most part, everything goes where it's supposed to go. So if you actually are trying to play this as like you being the retailer and you stocking everything, it should be fine. The only things I do raise up, I end up raising up, are pretty much just the, like you saw the toy boxes, I raise them up like 1 or 2 smidgens, I don't know what you call it, 1 or 2 little push-ups for the toy boxes, and then these little blocks I had to raise up. And then I do like maybe some of the things in the display cases on the wall by the register. Those are the only things that I end up really moving that I had to raise up, as far as I can remember. Yeah. So, but for the most part, everything should be okay. So when you're restocking, when you're, actually buying things, there shouldn't be too many issues there. So hopefully everything in this retail lot is purchasable. I haven't play tested the purchasing of every single item because that would be ridiculous. But yeah, there you go, the violins. You have to put these are the hot ticket items, so gotta put those behind this very special display glass. Like, I think those violins end up selling, like, when you purchase them yourself from the catalog, they're like already 12,000 simoleons or something. So yeah, they are really expensive. And then like this place, I think I did like a markup of 100%, or like I did pricey markup, like, this is a classy store. Oh, and I decided to fill out the downstairs or the third floor appliance section area just because I felt like it was a little too bare. So get more of these little same kind of display cases, and then decided to put like more of the adult, quote unquote, more adult collectibles, like all of these train sets, the planes, like all the model trains and planes and boats. And then on this side, gotta get the fun little fridge pigs and the fridge bunnies, and if you're a weirdo, a fridge hen. And yeah, and then just trying to fill out like all the different like fancy decor items, that your sim could ever want. And then moving back up to the toy store final floor up here, pretty much finishing up, just putting these fancy bears up there because I didn't know what else to put there. And I just figured, maybe these are super rare collectible kind of bears. We don't know. Maybe at this point in time, they were kind of like those Beanie Babies. Like everyone was like, oh my God, Beanie Babies are so collectible. They're so expensive. But then later they're like not worth anything. So that was sort of my thinking there. But here we go. Here's the screenshots. So this is what it looks like perched up on that awesome balcony area, like that giant tall skyscraper. I think it looks so good at this position. You can see all the different floors through all the windows, and you can see the tree. If you squint, you can kind of see the whole tree going through all the floors. I think it ends up looking really, really cool. And this is what you probably see it, because if you're going at night to go shopping here, you'd see this is the first floor. As you walk in, you get to see all the clothes, and then all the shoes, the gigantic shoe section, favorite department, me. Shoes. And then female clothes, and then the male clothes, and then these mannequins are all dressed up for the holidays. And then this is the media section. Again, super sale on all the books, because who buys books anymore? This is a fun gift wrapping area. I did put even the presents for sale, so you could buy the presents pre-wrapped if you wanted. And then the awesome appliances section. I love this section. I don't know why, I'm weird. And then that third floor checkout area. And the best department of all is the toy store department. Look at all these fun, colorful toys. They look so cool. You can see all the skyscraper in the background. It's so nice. A super tippity top floor. And yeah, there's all the fancy violins. This is like the, crafty section, the fun creative section for the kids. And then the registers. Yeah, I think this turned out so, I'm so proud of it. And then the collectibles. Look at all the different collectibles you could buy here. And then the big toys in the back. And last but not least, the Santa section where you can take a picture with Santa Claus. Yeah, so now we're getting into the layout. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this Christmas build that I decided to make for you guys. It is available on the gallery. You can go and download it right away, put it in your game, have your Sims go have fun shopping for the holidays. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And until next time, have a lovely day.